This is a tutorial for a standing hip thrust by Booty Builder. There's a couple adjustment points here to talk about just in case you guys had any questions that we have it here at Iron Wolf Fitness. We'll show you quickly how to use it just in case if you want to incorporate this in your training or have never used this before. So a couple of things to talk about. The way we're going to get in it, we're simply going to sit down. Again, it's a hip thrust, but just a standing one, right? Just a little bit of a variation than what most of the time we're used to in a laying position. So a couple of things to talk about. Once you sit down, you have the first spin on the right hand side here. We're gonna go ahead, pull that pin, and it's gonna lock you into place, right? The second pin that we're gonna talk about is right in front of you. This will allow how far this pad is gonna sit on your quad. So we don't want it too high, but we also don't want it at knee level because this might not feel very comfortable. Again, you're gonna have to kind of play around and see what best fits for you. On the left and right side, we have the loading horn. This is where we're gonna load up our plates. One last thing to mention, we do have the band pegs on the side, left and right, and what that means is now you can place a band over it, and that kind of changes the resistance a little bit, or resistance where you want to feel or how the exercise feels at what part of the range of motion. So we're not going to do the bands today. We're just going to show you the basic way, kind of how to use it, just in case if you guys have any questions. So as always, try the machine anytime you're trying for the first time without any weight or very little weight, just to make sure it does work with your biomechanics and you don't feel any pain and it works well for you. If you feel comfortable with that, load up the weight that you're looking for and you can go ahead and start the exercise. So once we have all that set up, we have both of the pads set up properly where it feels most best for us. We're gonna go ahead and perform the exercise. There's a couple of ways to do this. We can hold the handles here up front, just like that. And this is exactly the same thing as a hip thrust in any other position that we'll be doing it. The only difference is it's standing, right? The other position, we can hold our hands on this bar, makes no difference. Now, it's very, very important. Sometimes we see people where they almost make this in a row exercise. We want to avoid that, right? So we don't want to be using our back to perform this exercise because it kind of defeats the whole point. It's rather all in the glute and we just thrust forward just like that, right? Now, once we're done, we're gonna go ahead, set that down. Once the weight sits on the safeties and I feel like the tension is off, we can go ahead and pull this pin, open the machine, we're ready to go. If you guys have any questions, let us know.